quicker way. And we'll never do really the long way ever again. But I have to show you guys the long way. We have to do it that way in advanced math because what College Board does is they give you the function already plugged in and you have to go backwards and find out what f of x is. So because they do it the other direction, we have to go forwards first before I can show you what they're actually going to test you guys on. Okay, so we will do this a long way. All of my AB repeaters should know what the answer to this is already. And you're like, oh, the good old days. But I'm going to do my f of x plus h first. I'm going to take my x plus h and I'm going to plug it in for x. So limit as h approaches 0, 4 times x plus h minus 1. That gives me my first term. I'm subtracting off f of x. I'm subtracting off 4x minus 1. And I'm dividing everybody by h. Now when I do this limit, I'm taking the limit as h approaches 0. So ideally what I want to be able to do is I want to be able to plug in 0 in for my h, but I cannot do that right now because I would get 0 in the denominator. So I have to do something, which means that if you do all of this and you don't get your h in the denominator to cancel out, you messed up somewhere. Okay, so that's the whole goal, is to get rid of h. So I take my limit as h approaches 0, 4x plus 4h minus 1, and I distribute my negative to both terms, minus 4x plus 1 all over h. And what you'll notice is that my 4x's cancel out. My negative 1 and my positive 1 cancel out. So I'm left with the limit as h approaches 0 of 4h over h. Now, before I plug in 0 in for my h, I must reduce. So I'm going to reduce first. Reduce and then plug in 0 in for h, if there's any h's left. So here I'm going to cancel out my h first. So I have the limit as h approaches 0 of just 4, which is 4. Okay. Questions that you guys have? So I meant to cross this out because we're going to talk about this later. So I meant to cross this out. We're not going to do this now. We'll worry about it later. Like 5 sections from now. So I'm going to do another one. So I'm going to take my x plus h and I'm going to plug it in for x. So I have the limit as h approaches 0, negative 4 times x plus h. I'm subtracting off my f of x. And I'm dividing everybody by h. Now, when I do this, I'll get kind of a similar answer to what I just got. College Board, what they want you to do is they want you to take what I just wrote out. No, I put it. Oh yeah, that's right. What I just wrote out here. They're going to ask you to take this limit right here and get back to what my f of x is. So I go and take the limit, I look at it, I'm like, oh, this is what like the x is, this is what the x plus h is, so this is what my f of x is equal to. Okay, and then I pull out my f of x and go bibbidi bobbidi boo and I get an answer. The bibbidi bobbidi boo is tomorrow. Then you're going to be really mad at me tomorrow, but it's okay. Okay, so I'm taking the limit as h approaches 0. I'm going to distribute negative 4x minus 4h plus 4x all divided by h. And you'll notice that my 4x's cancel out. So I have the limit as h approaches 0, negative 4h over h. H's cancel out, and I'm left with a negative 4. So again, when I do my limit, I reduce first. Reduce the fraction first, and whatever's left over, if I have something left over that has h, then I plug in 0 in for h. Okay. Questions that you guys have? The last one is weird. And I will tell you guys, this last one here, I have not seen College Board do this. But I feel like we have to talk about the situation of what happens when my f of x is just a number and there's no x. How does this limit work? Well, I'm taking my x plus h and I'm plugging it in for x, but if there's no x, I can't do anything with it. So all I'm left with in my first term, this x plus h term, there's no x, so I'm just left with 5. That's it. I can't really do anything with it. Minus f of x, which is just also 5. And then still divided by h. But now what I get is limit as h approaches 0 is 0 over h. 0 in the numerator, doesn't matter what's in the denominator, that's 0. So overall, this is 0. I reduce first. This 0 over h becomes 0, and then there's no h's left over. And then I'm done. I only do this one because this limit represents a operation. And when we do the operation of 5 is going to be 0. Which is, again, tomorrow. Okay, questions. So, you will have a beginning question. You don't know what that beginning question is. Okay? Because you don't know what that beginning question is, there's a problem 1. There's a problem 2. There's a problem 3. This is your end question here. So I want to see this one. And I said to put it in the classroom. Today will be the last time I have you guys put it in the classroom. The only reason why I'm doing that is because I just want to verify, like, in my brain when I see all of you guys, that I know all of your guys' names when you show me your end question. So that's the only reason why I'm doing it for today. I just so I can mentally check and make sure that I know everybody's names. And that way tomorrow, when you show me your end question, I can mark you off that you actually got it. And then put zeros in the right spots. Yes, Bowen?
Issue of names. Last year, did you make us get like a white piece of paper and write our names on it?
I did make you guys do name tents last year. But I was going to try to do that without that this year, because I would say that other than the freshmen, I think almost every single person that's in Calc. And last year, I knew less people in Calc because I hadn't seen them around campus, or they hadn't been in my elective class. Most of the people that are in Calc this year have either been in my elective class before, are a part of leadership, or I've already taught you once. So that's why I didn't have you guys do name tents. I really should have done it with the freshmen, because that's been a little bit harder. I think I got 3 Emmas in the same class period. I sort of figure out which Emma's which has been an interesting task. Okay, and then you have this question, and then you have this question, and then you have one more, right? So if I was trying to prepare for a beginning question tomorrow, not to say that I'm ever going to check these, but I would have probably have done this one, problem 6, And you have to do the end question. I would have done 3. And I would have done 2. So if I was going to roll the dice and not do any of the problem set or not all the questions in the problem set, I would at least do those because those are a little bit strange. Okay. Now, you are going to get stuck more than likely on your question 3 and question 4. So let me be clear with the cosine and sine. You have to know a few things. You have to know that the sine of x plus h is sine x cosine h plus cosine x sine h. You have to know that the cosine of x plus h is cosine x cosine h minus sine x sine h. You have to know that the limit as h approaches 0 of cosine of h minus 1 over h is 0. And the limit as h approaches 0 of sine of h over h is 1. You have to know those things, otherwise you cannot answer question 3 or question 4. So you're going to want those. I want to see your end question results. And then you guys, you can show it to me and I can tell you whether or not you're right or wrong before you snap a picture and put it into Classroom. Questions? Yes?
Oh, no, this is
You're-